Did you know that Terry Bradshaw has sold shoulder surgery in 1983 in Louisiana, but didn't go in as Terry Bradshaw? He went in as Tom Brady. I mean, think about that, man. Of all the names, Tom Brady. Not Tom Biletnikoff. Remember Fred Biletnikoff? I mean, I get it, TB. But, I mean, think about the insanity of Terry Bradshaw, the winningest quarterback in Super Bowl history up to that point, going into surgery in Louisiana, where he's from, because he doesn't want the fanfare. Actually, I'm not even sure that he knew he was doing that. It sounds like he was, the hospital put him under the alias, not him. And the name they chose was Tom Brady. Man, I don't think there's any such thing as a coincidence, my friends. Just listen to this guy talk about other odd coincidences in NFL. One was about Tim Tebow. I just don't think there's coincidences anymore. I never thought much about it, but it's almost like we're having this parallel life. That's what I posted the other day about Ed McMahon. Everybody knows his Publisher Clearinghouse. Everybody does. And yet, if you do some research, it'll say Ed McMahon was never part of Publishers Clearinghouse. You're like, that's not true. I mean, at least, I remember Ed McMahon, Publisher Clearinghouse, as all you guys do too. Apparently, so no, he was always part of American Family Publishing. But that what? It's crazy. What? Oh my goodness. It's fun to think about stuff like that. It's also fun to recognize if you believe the supernatural, like I do, 100% a supernatural creator, one that's above the natural realm, you'd have to say to yourself, is there more than what we just vision? Unequivocally, man. I mean, just think like with solar, for instance, solar panels, which turn the sun's energy into electricity because of the way the light is broken out and the physics that go with it. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think I just off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly what it is, but to turn photovoltaic, which is turning the sun's energy into electricity, there is a max amount. Why am I having these houses back to back for sale here? I'm trying to develop something here. There's a max amount of the red color or something like that can be used for electricity. And I think it's like 35% or something like that so for every 100 watts that the sun shines, the maximum amount you could use for electricity would be like 35, something like that. I'm walking, I don't know off the top of my head, but something like that. Because of color variations in light. You know, the further away, the deeper red light is. All right, that's one of the reasons they think with the Hubble telescope and all that the universe is expanding, because it gets deeper and deeper red, because it means it's further and further out. I don't know that to be true. I think it's interesting. I always wonder though, okay, so it's expanding into what? Well, it's like a balloon expands. Yeah, a balloon expands into the air. What are we expanding into? You see what I'm saying? If the universe is expanding, what's on the other side of the universe for which we're expanding into? And no one knows. This whole thing about, we know, we're physicists. Just stupid, man. I hate that crap. Anyway, no one knows nothing. And you think about like a dog or an eagle or a fly, you know, their vision, their smell, their hearing is so much different than ours. And yet because we're human beings, we think, oh, we got it solved. And I'm like, you know, what is outside of our realm? It's incredibly interesting. And then hearing about Tom Brady checking into a hospital when he was 6 years old or 5 years old. I mean, if all the names you come up with Tom Brady, I get Terry Bradshaw, Tom Brady. I kind of get that, right? But Bradshaw, Brady, Terry, Tom. I kind of get that, but it's just how ironic that Tom Brady would then become the greatest Super Bowl winner of all time, surpassing Terry Bradshaw. I mean, it's a coincidence. Man, you start putting all these coincidences together, you're like, nah, there's something else, man. There's a different realm. I don't know what it is, but the arrogance of science that we have it all figured out, and I don't think any scientist would actually say we have it all figured out. I mean, at least that's worth his weight in gold. I mean, some scientists, idiots, will say, Lawrence Krauss, it's a fact. Evolution is a fact. It can't be debated. That's just idiotic, man. It's not a fact. It's just stupid to say that. The arrogance there is just freaking mind-boggling. Or no different than Christians saying, it's a fact because it's in the Bible. And that's stupid too, man. I mean, it's okay not to know. Christians will say, we don't know, thus we have faith. Quote, scientists, unquote, will say, we don't know, but we don't, or we don't know about some things, but we know about these other things, of which is all based on faith. At least we can admit we have faith. They can't, because they have to be the God complex of the credentialed elite. Anyway, I just wonder what's out there. Like, what else is there? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I guess this is one of the things you can contemplate when you have your own schedule. When you're working for a guy, you got to go on the job, and you don't have your own time, so you can't really think about things outside of your immediate realm. Well, I work from home. I create my own schedule. I work a lot. I have a lot of time to think and to read and to learn about, which means it's very interesting, the dynamics of the world that before I had no clue existed. And the things you come up with. The Ed McMahon thing. What? It wasn't American Family Publishing. It was Publishers Clearinghouse. So what happened? What happened for that to get changed? I don't know. Is there some kind of universal power that changes things after the fact? Man, I got no idea. But it's interesting, isn't it? Terry Bradshaw goes in Tom Brady. What? That's just weird, man. All kinds of other little things like that. You're just like, what? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, it's just interesting. I thought I'd share it with you while I'm taking my walk. We'll see you.